Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How did Louise Bennett? Louise Bennett would say, "This long time, gal, me never see you. Come make me hold your hand. This long time, gal, me never see you. Come make me hold your hand. Peel a jam cross, sit down for tree top, pick out the blossom. Make me hold your hand, girl. Make me hold your hand." A long time we don't see people in the auditorium. Welcome to the University of Technology, Jamaica. Last year we were online. The year before we were online. But this year we're outside. Come on, give yourselves a hand. Give yourselves a hand. It is so great to see you here this morning. I'm Craig McNally, Senior Counsellor, and trust me, we are really excited to see you here this morning. For those of you who are joining us online, welcome. We long to see you, and we hope that in the coming months, in the coming weeks, you will come out of your house and take a trip and come on campus and walk around and take in the lights and see which part the tree are grow and look to see where your faculty or your college is. And especially if you are a parent or a spouse, welcome, man. Come on campus and introduce yourself to us and meet us. We would love to meet you. And of course, for those parents and guardians and spouses who are here this morning, I mean, no, say someone would just hold back the tears because, Lord God, you can't believe so the boy grew up big. You can't believe so your one girl picked me and left the house. But don't worry, we are going to take really good care of them, I promise you. We're going to take good care of them. Of course, this morning you would notice that we have a number of booths around the auditorium. We have faculties and colleges represented. And so if you are seeing your young adults, notice I didn't say your child, your young adults. When I forget used to it, your young adults, faculty or college around, feel free to get up when we take a break and walk around, talk to them, meet them, right? And just get, familiarized with them, with the name, and ask them where they're located, and ask them what their contact number is, and ask them who the faculty administrator is, right? A very important person. Ask them who the dean of the faculty or college is, because you just never know, you just might need to reach out one of these days. So, we have a packed program for you this morning. And of course, the reason we have organized this parents and spouses orientation during our week of welcome is because we understand that you play a very critical role in the success of your young adult. And while you will not be able to come up to UTech and say, "Sir, me need to see the grades, me need to know where the boy are going with up here," while we will not be able to show you those grades, we certainly understand that you are very concerned, and we will help you as best as we can. So, to get our program going, before I get there, I just like to alert the persons online that right after this session, we'll be having a session called Meet the Deans. And although you are online, you will have the opportunity to meet the deans. In the description bar of the YouTube channel, I mean, someone has said the description bar, which part that there? Come here, boy, show me which part of the description bar there. Right, it's underneath the name of the University of Technology website. It's there, and so you will be able to see in that description bar the link to the Meet the Deans session. Also in that description bar is a link to today's program. And so if you are here in person and you'd like a copy of the program, you may also click on that link and you'll be able to see the program for today. Well, at this time, I'd like to welcome the University of Technology Jamaica Choir, and they will be leading us in the singing of the school song. Make sure that you learn that song, because in 4 years, perhaps right here in this very auditorium, you will be sitting somewhere over there, at least students, you'll be sitting somewhere here, and your parents will be sitting right up there in the bleachers or watching you online, and you will be decked out in your graduation gown, and you'll be singing that very song. At this time, I'd like to welcome our acting president, Professor Colin Giles, to come and greet you. This is our president. Mark his face. If you see him on the road, hail him, say hello. He's a very personable individual. Professor Giles, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McNally, our senior counselor and able moderator. Members of council, members of the diplomatic corps, Dr. Haldane Johnson, our acting deputy president, Ms. Marian Brown, vice president and university registrar, deans, heads of schools, other members of academic and administrative staff, our new and transfer students, ladies and gentlemen, all a pleasant good morning to you. I'm very delighted to welcome our new and transfer students and you, our parents, guardians, spouses, friends, and family members who have joined us for the new 2022 to 2023 academic year. It is a very special pleasure to see so many bright, vibrant faces in person after the last 2 years plus of COVID-19, which has largely kept us apart from physical interactions. We are very happy that you have chosen to be a part of the University of Technology Jamaica family, and we welcome you wholeheartedly to this, our national university. I assure you that you have made the right choice in selecting Jamaica's first national university to proceed on a lifelong journey of excellence through knowledge. You should feel good about the excellent decision that you have made. Your investment in your continuing education is an investment for life. Your education will multiply in value more than any other investment perhaps that you have made. I want to say to our students that you are now not only preparing yourselves for life ahead, but you are making an investment in yourself to earn an asset that can never be taken away from you. You can lose your house, your car, or other material possessions. But no matter where you go in the world, the education that you have gained cannot be taken away from you. You are now at the birthplace of greatness. I want to congratulate all our new students who have weathered the special challenges of the pandemic during your finalizing years in high school to successfully matriculate to begin your tertiary studies today. Well done. I encourage you to continue your journey at UTech Jamaica with the same level of fortitude and dedication and resilience that has brought you to this point. Our new students are entering a very dynamic institution where we have set as our vision to be the premier university in the Caribbean for work-ready leaders, committed to transforming students and society through high-quality teaching, research, and value-added services. In other words, we must be the university of choice in the region. When our students complete this leg of their academic journey in 4 years or less, we want you to apply your knowledge to creating jobs, to solving national and regional problems, and to be able to add value and to contribute to development anywhere in the world. I want to assure you that we are constantly reviewing our courses of study and the total university experience to advance the realization of this vision. In validation of the high quality of our academic programs, UTech Jamaica was awarded institutional accreditation by the University Council of Jamaica with effect from February 2018 for a period of 7 years. This stamp of approval means that we are committed to delivering high-quality education to international standards. It is also an assurance that there is full recognition of the UTech Jamaica certification by both public and private sectors. Institutional accreditation also assures an easier transition of our graduates to other tertiary institutions locally and overseas. At UTech Jamaica, we place emphasis on holistic development for all our students. In addition to the academic pursuits, students have a wide range of opportunities to engage in co-curricular activities in sports, in arts and culture, community service, spiritual enrichment, and also in student leadership activities. I should also note that community service is an obligation that we have set ourselves here at the University of Technology, Jamaica. We see service as part of the mandate that characterizes our commitment to nation building and to fostering a more humane and caring society, where we can equally celebrate our similarities as we also demonstrate our appreciation and respect for each other's differences. Members of faculty and staff across the university are engaged in various service initiatives to assist in alleviating societal problems. As a condition for graduation, all first-year students are required to complete the community service, or what we call the CSP program, which is a 1-credit course that involves at least 40 hours of community service. Parents, guardians, family members, students are in partnership together. And I want to assure you that the university has the best interest of our students at heart. Our students must know that we are working to ensure a student-friendly environment in which we can fulfill their need to achieve their full potential. Students must never feel that they are an afterthought. We want our students to understand that you are the raison d'etre of our university. You are the reason why the university exists. I want to take this opportunity to note that as part of our drive to promote student interests and to ensure that our students are given the best chance of completing their studies, that the Finance and Business Services Division has revised the fee payment arrangements to make it easier for students to pay their fees. And you'll hear more about this as time progresses. In fact, you should be having a presentation not long from now from the Director for Student Financing. As you go through the week of orientation, I urge you to get familiar with all the other student service activities and benefits that are available to you for academic support, for cultural activities, opportunities in sports, and in community and volunteer service. These are all outlined in the student handbook, which is available at the university's website online. Since the start of the pandemic in March 2020, UTech Jamaica, like all other institutions of learning, have had to adjust our teaching and learning modalities, to revise our approaches to ensure that we are able to keep current and to ensure that our students are able to have the best experience. So I just want to let you know the modality in which we'll be operating for the upcoming semester, because this is a very important bit of information for persons to know. And I know that I'm getting the wrap-up signal. Time is going, but at the same time, this is important for you to know. For this academic year, we will be using a blended approach. That is a mix of online learning systems, web conferencing, in-person sessions, labs, and clinical modalities based on the program requirements of each college and faculty. Lectures will be delivered through online sessions to include pre-recording and or live recordings, which will be accessible to students so that they can go back and they can review the lectures even if they were not able to watch it at the immediate time that the class is scheduled. Practicals, labs, studios, and field trips will be primarily face-to-face, especially for learning activities that are resource-intensive. Of course, there will be an exception for computer-based modules that may allow for an online modality. Tutorials will be primarily online with face-to-face options, especially for persons who have device challenges. Final theory and practical examinations will be face-to-face. So persons need to plan for those from now. So for those who are studying primarily online, please note from now that our final assessments will be face-to-face. Of course, for persons who are based overseas or international students, we will arrange to utilize approved proctored sites where such are available. And we'll have to look at those on a case-by-case basis based on early requests. Colleges and faculties will communicate further to students regarding some of these details. We want to strongly encourage our students to visit the campus and to continue to adhere to the COVID-19 protocols. So we recognize that the COVID-19 pandemic is largely behind us, but it is not gone. And so we'll have to continue being mindful of that. In closing, I want to remind us of the University of Technology Jamaica core values, which can be remembered by the acronym RAISE IT. R is for respect, A for accountability, I for integrity, S for service, E for excellence, I for innovation, and the T is for team spirit. These 7 core values plus loyalty make you a UTech Jamaica Knight. The 7 core values plus loyalty. And that is why in our UTech Jamaica song, we sing, so to UTech we'll always be what? So to UTech we'll always be true. So to UTech will always be true. So the 7 core values plus loyalty to this, our national institution, or university, the first national university, stands as that which makes you a UTech Knight. Again, I extend a warm UTech Jamaica welcome to all our new and transfer students, your parents, guardians, spouses, and other family members. Do have a productive and enjoyable academic year, and do make the best of this week of welcome that we have branded WOW. Week of welcome. We want you to be wowed. We want you to integrate as a part of our community and recognize that a UTech Knight today is a UTech Knight forever. Once again, I thank you and all the very best.
Thank you very much, Professor Giles. At this time, we're going to be taking a short break, about 5 minutes, so feel free to stand up right where you are, or just turn around like this, or just hold up your arms. We're going to take a short 5-minute break. Thanks. All right, folks, we are back. Hope you took the time to stretch and lift your hand up and whatever else you needed to do. We're back, and at this time we're going to go ahead and invite Mrs. Garcia Green McLennan. She's the Director of Student Financing, and this is the money part. This is also a very important part of your young adult success here at the University of Technology, Jamaica. So do listen up very keenly to what Mrs. McLennan Hines has to say. I'm sure she will be talking about scholarships, how to make payments, how to make percentage payments, and so on. So let's welcome Mrs. McLennan, Mrs. Green McLennan.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of your student financing plan here at UTech. I'm going to use some terms. I'm going to ask you to just repeat them for me as I go along for emphasis so that you understand. Okay, you can go ahead to the first slide, please. All right, so let me wing it. Seem to be having some technical difficulties. All right, so parents, spouses, students, prospects, we want to thank you for coming. At UTech, you would have already been introduced to a particular term called semesterization. Can you repeat that one for me, please? Semesterization. Once more, a little louder. All right, so that term is important. So during high school and primary school, you would have been used to the word term. So school has 3 terms, right? Term 1, term 2, term 3. At UTech, we use semesters. So your child or spouse, whoever is attending UTech, will start using that term. It means they come to school around a semester. We bill them around a semester. If they're withdrawing, it's around a semester. So you're going to keep that word in the forefront of your mind, okay? Now, in this semesterized system, how you come up with your tuition is not like how you would have done it at primary school. You're not given a cost up front. It's a flexible system, and that flexibility works for you. So if you are able to afford the full slate of modules, no problem. The student can begin right away. But what if you're not able to find all the funds up front? Then the beauty about semesterization is that you have the flexibility to select the amount of modules that you can afford to pursue, right? And the modules is the next term. Say modules. Modules. That replaces the word subjects. So we're not talking about subjects anymore. And we don't use courses here at UTech. We talk about modules. So you're literally going to consider it like you're at a banquet here at UTech, right? We have a wonderful array of offerings in front of you. Those are all the modules that you can take in a given semester. Now, UTech has 3, let's call it 3 semesters. It's really 2 semesters and a summer. But let's say 3 semesters. How many semesters? 3. So you're going to do 3 cycles of billing and 3 cycles of payment. Okay. You can roll it on for me to the slide that says Understanding Semesterization. So I'm telling you about the plan. All right, let's keep it moving. Great, here we go. So I'm already making the point that we have 3 academic sessions, right? 2 semesters and a summer. The summer is a mini semester. And for you, you have been invited to this banquet, and you have the flexibility to take the amount of modules you can afford, just as how you can put the amount of food on the plate that you can eat. So, determining your tuition is a function of how many modules do I take in each academic session, in each semester. So when you go to select a module, it's done virtually on a portal which you will be introduced to. Once those modules are selected, there's a cost associated with each one. You know, lobster has a cost, steak has a cost, chicken has a cost. Some modules are weighted more than others, and the cost will vary depending on what you put on the plate. Once you're done selecting, the system will then ask you to confirm that selection. And once the confirmation is done, it will then generate an invoice. And that invoice will tell you what it is that you're going to pay, right? And once you've gotten that invoice, you are then locked into that figure, unless it is that you, the student that is, determines that he or she wants to do what we call an add drop, which is at a specific time when they'll say, okay, I thought I wanted to do 4, but I can only afford to do 3, or maybe I can't manage the workload and I can take one off or put one on. All right, so let's move down to the screen that says the tuition payment plan, because I've shared how to select your invoice. So you're with me, do you know how to get the invoice now? It's selecting the modules, and the faculty will tell you what modules are available. So let's go to payment. So let's say we've selected our modules, and the total cost of our plate now is $100,000. That's where we're starting, $100,000. You can go back to the previous slide. The first thing that UTech has asked you to do, and you have all done it already, is to pay us a tiny deposit. It's called an enrollment commitment deposit. You remember that? Anybody remembers paying that? Or you all failed this test, you know? You pay the ECD? Raise your hand if you pay ECD. Yeah, because that's how you have your right to be here. All right, great. So if you've paid your ECD, that's $30,000 that you'd have been asked to pay. And guess what? It's not a charge. It's literally a deposit that you would have made on our hypothetical $100,000. So I want a bright spark. Your tuition is $100,000 because you selected 5 modules that each cost $20,000. And you get $100,000, right? And then UTech say, give me the ECD, please, $30,000. How much money do I owe UTech after I've paid my ECD of $30,000 for an invoice of $100,000? All raise your hand. Who is getting it right? 70, my bright spark in the front row, $70,000 is the balance that you owe. So you owe $70,000, and guess what? Let's go to the next slide now. This is where Professor Giles came in. He said he wanted to make the ability to complete a semester more successful by making the payments staggered by a payment plan. Can I get the next slide, please? All right, great. And so a few years ago, we introduced a new approach to payment. So you have that $70,000. Everywhere else you go, they would say, pay me my $70,000, right? Once you come in. No, not us. What we have done is we have asked you to pay us that $70,000 in 3 portions. 3 portions. So we'll ask you in month 1 to give us a third of the $70,000. In month 2, you give us the other third. And in month 3, the final third. You can't get it better than that. Interest-free. Right? You only get charged something if you miss a deadline. There's no financing, nothing added on. Right? And so the plan says you pay 100% by census date. And census date for us is when we take stock of those who have committed to be here. And so you are required to pay $30,000 by the end of September, another 30%, by the end of October, and we ask you to settle up all of what you owe at the end of November. Isn't that great? Clap us. Clap us. That's great. So we've literally spread the payments over an entire semester for you. You can move it along. So having done that, you would have been able to move through the semester. Once you have paid the ECD, we don't wait until you pay us the rest. We give you full financial clearance and registration status, and we ask you to simply honor your commitment to pay. Can you keep the slides moving, please? Wow. All right, so the other important thing that I need to mention, since I'm not going in order, is that you're to note this final term. It's called your miscellaneous fees. Now, you might be wondering, what is that? It's not that we're charging you another fee. But your miscellaneous fees, just like going to high school, there's a small set of fees that you pay in addition to tuition. So, too here. Those miscellaneous fees are small, but it's important. And you see that first deposit of $30 that you pay, it goes towards that miscellaneous fee because we want to ensure that it is covered. It includes insurance for your child or spouse when they're here on the campus, medical insurance, life and accident insurance, the ability to access books at the library and to be able to make photocopies. All of that is covered in the miscellaneous fee. You also get a chance to contribute towards the Students' Union that represents the students. So it's a composite of tiny fees that range around $30,000. For some faculties, it's a little more because they have some special resources. So I just want to clarify for you. It's an important fee because even if you're funded by the SLB, note this, the SLB does not pay for your miscellaneous fees. Can we say that again? I'm going to say it. The SLB does not pay for your miscellaneous fees. It's your personal responsibility. So if you're funded by the Bureau, make sure that your child, ward, or spouse has covered this portion out of pocket, and the SLB will cover the tuition. And so too, if you're getting any form of government sponsorship, you have to attend to that. Having done that, I think the most important thing that I can emphasize as I wrap up is that though we've offered a payment plan that's flexible, if you do have the ability to pay all your fees at once, we encourage you to do so. It allows us to offer a more flexible time for those who can't. And if you pay 100% on time and in full by census date, which is September 30th. When is the census date? Not the government census date, no, that is sometime earlier in September. UTech's census date, September 30. If you pay us 100% of your fees by September 30, we will give you a rebate. That's unheard of, right? We're giving you back some money. 2 whole percent. 2%, not 1, 2. So we're going to put this directly to your account at the end of the semester. You'll see it as a line item. It's a credit, and that's a way of us rewarding you for paying on time and in full. And I think, though there are lots of frills I could add to the presentation, those are really the core things that I would want you to know. And if there's one question, I have 3 minutes, I'll just take it. Does anybody have a question? Sure? If you are sponsored by the SLB, I want to advise you that we are an official collection site for the SLB. So we have gone through a program to train persons in each faculty and college to help with the process, so you don't have to carry your documents all the way to Northwood Boulevard and join the line and you can't get in the building. Your faculty is a collection site. They will accept the documents for the applicant and the referee. We will check it off, verify it, seal the envelopes, and then our bearers will move for you, the legwork, take it from here to SLB and back, and then you track your status using the SLB site. So remember, if you are going to get an SLB loan, do so as quickly as possible. Bring in the documents and have your guarantors attend to their interviews. And with that, I just want to say thank you very much for listening. Though the challenges, you paid attention. I taught you some terms. Let me hear them. Semesterization. What's the other one? Modules. Yes, math class. What's the next one? I mean, I remember. But there was something. Yes, what's the other one? And we talked about the census date, which is our date where we take stock of our numbers and know how we're going to allocate classes, September 30th. And what's the other one? What's it? Which one? 2% is a very important concept. Remember it. Pay us 100%. I have a minute left, and I'm not going to use it. Thank you very much for listening and for participating, and I wish you all the best for your registration.
Thank you very much, Garcia. Was that information helpful to you? Yes? Do you think you can find your way? Yes? Have we created channels and ways for you to work with us? I hope so. We try to. So, President Giles hinted earlier during his presentation that student development is very important to us here, and we have a number of student development activities. In fact, on Tuesday for our Clubs and Societies Day, which is the day that the union is responsible for the week of welcome, you will see around the auditorium a number of clubs that your young adult is free and is welcomed to join. One of the activities that we have for students is called the First Year Experience Program, which is essentially designed to support first-year students as they begin the journey in university. One of the activities within the first-year program is the Mr. and Miss First Year Pageant, which we stage every year on the last day of the week of welcome. This year it will be on Friday, the 26th, after the induction ceremony, after your young adult has been inducted as a UTech Knight. At this time, we're very pleased to present to you this year's contestant. These are students who will be entering their second year starting August 20. 29th. 9th, right. They will begin their second year. So they'll be doing the opening number for you. As soon as I take off this off stage, please give them a warm welcome.
We are gonna take it to them. Tech, we are gonna take it to them. Tech, we are gonna take it to them. Tech, we are gonna take it to them. Welcome to the UTech. Tech, we are gonna take it to them. Tech, we are gonna take it to them. Tech, we are gonna take it to them. Welcome to the UTech. Whereas you'd rather be UTech. Whereas you'd rather be UTech. Whereas you'd rather be than UTech, UTech. Whereas you'd rather be UTech. Whereas you'd rather be UTech. Whereas you'd rather be than UTech, UTech.
This is your time to shine, to go another level, to touch the sky.
You're now a UTech night, so prepare yourself. Oh, you're
Techie, we are gonna take it, we are gonna take it to them. Techie, we are gonna take it, we are gonna take it to them. Tech, we are gonna take it to them. Tech, we are gonna take it to them. Tech, we are gonna take it to them. Welcome to the UTech. Tech, we are gonna take it to them. Tech, we are gonna take it to them. Tech, we are gonna take it to them. Welcome to the UTech. Where else would you rather be? Where else would you rather be? Where else would you rather be than UTech, UTech? Where else would you rather be? Where else would you rather be? Where else than UTech, UTech? Take it to them. Tech, we are gonna take it to them. Tech, we are gonna take it to them. Welcome to the UTech. Tech, we are gonna take it to them. Tech, we are gonna take it to them. Tech, we are gonna take it to them. Welcome to the UTech.
Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. Come on, make some noise for our 2022 Mr. and Miss First Year Pageant contestants. You can do better than that. You can do better than that. Thank you so much, guys. Well, at this time, I'd like to welcome on stage Mrs. Marlene Pottinger Giles. She is one of the counselors in the counseling unit here at UTech, and she will be sharing some very important information with you as she charges you, the parents, to be supportive and encouraging in your role. Make her welcome. Clap her, clap her.
Okay, a very pleasant and wonderful morning to you all, and special welcome to the parents, the guardians, spouses, family members, other family members, friends, and of course to the new, returning, and the transfer students. You have chosen UTech to be the right, you have rightly chosen UTech. Can I have the presentation, please? You have rightly chosen UTech to be your place of choice for study. It is, of course, the birthplace of greatness. Please move to the next slide. So, yes, it is the birthplace of greatness. Clap yourself, you have made the right choice. Okay, great, thank you. Next slide, please. And we know that today, it is one of those days when, in accordance with what happens everywhere else, thousands of parents and sometimes spouses and guardians, you have to let go of your young adults. And you will notice I say young adults because although, yes, they will always be your children, we know that, but they are no longer children because they are now over 18. And we don't have children at university. So remember, they are now young adults, and so you will have to somehow release them. You are allowing them to fly. The wings that you have been feathering and grooming all these years, they have now taken on a new form and they are ready to fly. So today is a time when you are going to let go. And of course, it's a time of ambivalence for you because there is this joy and excitement about your young adult, about your spouse going to university. And for some of you, this may be the first member of the family that is coming to university. So it's a time of excitement and joy. And yes, you have done it. But at the same time, there is some sense of loss, some sense of nostalgia. Please stay with that slide. Go back, please. Some sense of nostalgia. And it's mixed emotion. So, but I'm saying to you, take comfort that the foundation that you have laid, the relationship that you have built over the years, that it will now accompany your young adult across the years and across the miles. Because I know that you're not all from Kingston. That is why so many of you are sitting here, because you are going to be on Hall, because it's too far to travel. And some of you are from overseas. I must say welcome to those online, because it's so far that there are some persons who cannot be here physically, so welcome to you too. And so the foundation that you have set over the years will now take these persons, your young adults, your loved ones, through these times. Next slide, please. Yeah, and as they go through this new journey of their lives, there are some expectations that we have of them, you have of them. New students are faced with so many they're meeting new peoples. There are new ideas that they're faced with. There are new experiences. You heard about the first year experience. You hear about all the different clubs and societies. They are going to be having different experiences, meeting new people in the dorm, meeting new people in the classroom. And of course, there are going to be sometimes some dilemmas where they're not even sure how to take these things. It is part of life. It is saying that they have to take greater responsibility for all aspects of their lives. That's what you have been grooming them for all of these years. The problems and the struggles are inevitable, but they are also normal. Next slide, please. So many young adults who attend university are being taken away from home for the first time. And they are going to find themselves in a new situation. It's kind of a melting pot. Different cultures, different religious experiences, different lifestyles, sometimes different languages too. There are some persons from other countries that speak different language. But it's just new, and it's very exciting. Aren't you excited that your young adults and that the persons that you have built these relationships with, that their horizons are being widened, and they are not going to be the same anymore, because guess what? If you stay in the situation that you have always been, you will not grow, and you want them to grow. That's why you are allowing them this opportunity of university life. Can I have the next slide, please? Now note that you cannot control the world at large. You cannot control the environment in which your young adults will be. Next slide, please. So remember now, it's a process of letting go. You are letting go of the control. For 18 years or more, you have been controlling their lives. You have been controlling their environment. You somehow may have been controlling what they eat, what they drink, what they see, what their friends are. But you began this process of letting go from they were babies. because as they got older and older, you were giving them more and more responsibilities, and you were pulling away from some of the things that you would do for them. Now this is only a further step in the transition, but guess what? You don't have to worry, because there's still a new support system here. At UTech, we take care of your young adults. We ensure that they are well taken care of. We have the student services department, we have the committed lecturers, we have the library service, we have all the different elements in place that will support your young adults. So you don't have to worry. What I would say to you is just find a balance and keep in touch with the reality. The reality is that your young adult, next slide please, the reality is that your young adult is now just being what you have always wanted them to be. So the reality too is that as they achieve that goal, you have to step back a little bit, give them the opportunity to be the best version of themselves. So let's begin on a positive note. Today, for those of you who will be leaving your young adults and your spouses here at UTech, you can just allow them to settle in, see that everything is okay, and then leave. Don't bother to linger around the place, because it creates anxiety. Anxiety for you, anxiety for them. But I say keep in touch, but not too much. Don't call them every minute. Have realistic expectations, because you are anxious, they are going to be anxious as well, and it's a new experience for them. New experiences for everybody means that they go through some different, uncertainties. So it's kind of an emotional roller coaster for them. New friends, new place to live, new type of learning, online learning, new lecturers, new style of learning, and particularly for those students who did not do what we call sixth form, you're going to find that you have what seems like more time on your hand. It's not really more time though. It's just that they will have to take some more responsibility for how they use their time. So you have to help them to understand that it's not free time that they have. It's time that they're going to have to finish up some assignments or to prepare for the other class and so forth. But at all times, remember the good foundations you have laid. Do not make assumptions. If you call them and you cannot get them, don't assume that something gone wrong. Don't assume that somebody take them to a town, please, or take them to Jamaica. You are not going to be able to get them every time you call them. They are going to be very busy. They have classes, they have labs, they have all kinds of activities. They have dorm activities. They have special activities. This week is orientation week, and I can tell you one of the days they will be taken around the city of Kingston so that they can get to know the city. They are going to be involved with friends. They are going to be involved in group work that they have to be preparing for their classes, for their assignments. So they will not be available to answer your phone every time. And guess what? They don't want you to call them too often either. They get fed up. And as I heard Mrs. Isaac Brown mentioned earlier, if you call them too often, they will deliberately not answer. Dad, Mommy, no just talk to me this morning. What she call me for again? Me tell her, say me all right, but she not just give me a break. So understand that while you are keeping in touch, you're sending the WhatsApp messages and so forth, you're making the call, don't call them every minute. It becomes overwhelming for them, and they really don't have the time to respond. Listen carefully. Although they are here and they have a very good support system, you are the person that they have been accustomed to all these years. Listen to them. They don't need any lecture from you. Don't give them the lecture like when they were 10 and 12, but they need you to listen. Sometimes they have challenges, and when they want to talk, they want you to listen. So even now, more than ever before, remember that you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You are going to be listening even more than you speak. Maintain that healthy communication. If you never have it before, I'm not going to say too late, but it would have been good if you were building that relationship before. Have that communication where they can talk to you and where they know that you are not going to judge them and you're not going to say, "Pick me, you're an idiot," or "You can't go out town and go do that." You can say, "Well, what do you think would be a better option to take? What do you think would be a better thing to do?" And help them to find their way around. Because the thing about it is that it's going to be different. Next slide, please. I said this already. Resist the urge to phone and text them every 5 minutes. And don't panic if you don't hear back from them. Okay? Normalize the struggle. In your own experience, you have fallen many times. You have slipped. You have made mistakes. And what have you done? You got up. You become stronger and smarter for it. The same things will happen to your young adults. The same things will happen to your spouses. They will make mistakes sometimes, but they will get up. So resist the urge to run their lives and allow them to make life decisions. Be prepared for this change. The change, we are talking about change. You have to be prepared for it. In order to achieve independence, people need freedom. And of course, with that freedom comes responsibility. University is a part of this process of change. I said it earlier, I say it again, students are exposed to many new activities, interests, perspectives, and these things are likely to change them in some way. Next slide, please. So do not become alarmed when you hear different ideas, different passions, different interests coming on board. It is normal, it is what is expected. Sometimes they don't fit into your idea of what is practical. But guess what? Some of us, our ideas old and outdated. It's a new era now. You see how technology taking over the place? People like you and I are not familiar with technology. We don't even know what it can do sometimes. They are now in that era. Don't limit what they can do. So don't ridicule them and don't tell them that that is foolishness. So avoid being too critical. Support and encourage, but don't be a mother hen over them. They don't need that. They need now to be able to fly. When a bird is ready to fly, you cannot hold them under your wings. It's time for them to fly. They have to fly. Allow them to fly. And let me tell you something. Your young adults, they care more about what you think than they will tell you. So when you say negative things, they internalize it. It affects them. When you encourage them, they are more motivated to be successful. That's why they came here. They came here for success. Understand that the university years are a time for exploration. Allow them to explore. Allow them to learn new things. And please do not overschedule them. There are some persons who are going to be at home studying online. Please understand that although they are sitting in the house, they are in the rooms, they are still at school. So they need the time, they need the space to be able to study. Expect change. They can't be the same. When a caterpillar is becoming a butterfly, they go through changes. And if that change does not take place, they cannot fly. So allow them. I must point out here, as we said earlier, we don't have children here. Everybody here is over 18. Don't expect a report. Don't expect us to tell you their grades. Don't expect us to tell you what they failed or what they passed or what grades they got. We can't do that because we are dealing with adults. So we know it's you paying the money, and we know the money hard to get. And you probably will say, my money me I pay, you tell me, say, me can't know how my picnic I do. That is where the relationship comes in, where you're going to build that relationship with them so that they will be able to tell you, they can put up on the portal and show you what is it that they have been doing for the semester or for the year but we cannot violate their privacy and know to tell you what their grades are. So we don't give a report card here. Facilitate the space for learning. I think I said that. Respect their class time. So when they are in their rooms, sitting on at their computer, at the computer desk or wherever they study, respect that this is class time. If you want to know when not to go and disturb them, you could ask them to tell you when it's class time, so you know you don't go and knock and be asking them questions about what they did with the money you give them yesterday or what you want them to tell Mass John down the road. Know that when they're in class, they don't have the time for the conversations. It's as if they were in the physical space, it's just that they are online. And again, we can't overemphasize that you have to be supportive and that you have to offer encouragement. Next slide, please. And guess what? Before you blink your eye 2 times, they will have on the graduation garb. They'll be collecting their certificates, and you will be brimming with pride. So I want to say again, it cannot be overemphasized. You have to let them go, you have to let them fly, and you have to encourage them as they fly, as they prepare to fly. So thanks again for your attention, and I hope that you will find this journey of seeing your loved ones through university a very pleasant and exciting one. May you have a very good day and a good 3 or 4 or 5 years at the University of Technology. We wish you all the best.
Welcome to the Educom Cooperative Credit Union.
All right. Thank you very much, Mrs. Pottinger Giles. And so, folks, with that, we have come to the end of the program for, well, at least for this portion of the program. If you check the program for today, you will see that after we close off here, there are a number of other activities planned for you. Mrs. Pottinger, may I have a copy of the program just so that I could? I don't remember what's happening. All right, so today, for sure, you will be able to meet with the deans. And again, for those persons who are joining online, you may look in the description portion of the YouTube channel. And in there is a link that will take you to the Meet the Deans session online, as well as the program for the remainder of today. All right, so on the program you would see that the college or faculty is listed, and then the venue that it's taking place. So all the sessions are also being streamed virtually. So if you are not here, as I said before, the links to join those virtual sessions are in the description bar of the YouTube channel. So just FYI, starting at 12 noon, FELS, that's the Faculty of Education and Liberal Studies, your session is virtually. College of Health Science, that session is also virtual. The Faculty of Law, they will meet in LT, and LT means Lecture Theatre. So they will meet in Lecture Theatre 49. That's over at what we call shared facilities. So that's in that direction, The Faculty of Science and Sport will meet in FOSS Room 1. FOSS is short for the Faculty of Science and Sport, and they will be meeting in FOSS Room 1. The Faculty of Engineering and Computing, they are meeting virtually as well as in LT50, and that's at shared facilities. The College of Business and Management, that college will meet here in the auditorium. The Faculty of the Built Environment, that session will be virtual. And finally, the Joint Colleges of Medicine, Oral Health, and Veterinary Sciences, that session will happen at the Arthur Wint campus, and that's on Arthur Wint Drive. I'm going to get out of here and allow the Assistant Registrar Student Services, Mrs. Dorset Gabidon Pottinger, to give you some more information. Thank you and have a great afternoon.
Thank you so much, Dr. Craig. I just want to remind the students who are going to the joint colleges, there's a bus that is going to be outside in a few. So the bus will take you, if you're not driving, parents, there's a bus, marked UTech Jamaica. It will be outside in a moment. So you can meet us right outside of the auditorium to board the bus, which will now take you to the joint colleges. Even if you are driving, you can go, because the bus will also take you back to the University of Technology main campus. And then COBAM, all the sessions are being streamed. So COBAM is in person, College of Business and Management is in person and also streaming. So if you're here, you stay right here, and you're on YouTube, you continue watching YouTube channel. I think all the links were posted in the description section. So I think that's basically it. Thank you so much. And students, please walk around, feel free, talk to the persons at the booth. Sagicor Jamaica is going online totally. They are our health services provider, and you will have to know if you need to see the doctor or so. You're going to end up using them. So you need to sign up for Sagicor online. The representatives are here, and I think it's also in the description section. So sign up for Sagicor online. And I see you guys tomorrow morning right here if you're close by Kingston, right, Craig? If you're close by the University of Technology, make your way to the Alfred Sangster Auditorium. It will be a great day. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you.